All right, good morning everybody. We are going out to take care of the animals this morning. It's actually not too bad outside, so hopefully it stays that way and maybe we won't get rain today like they're calling for. We have had so much rain lately. I mean, I'll take that over snow any day of the week, but it just causes such a muddy mess. So let's go take care of all the animals that are screaming at me, telling me they're hungry. As you can see, we've got all this mud that I've been talking about. It is so wet everywhere. This is one of our streams coming down the side of the driveway because we've had that much rain. You hear everybody yelling that they're hungry. All right. So my kids took care of the animals last night because I was at an auction. So it's going to be fun to find everything. I'm coming. You got to move. You gotta move. Come on, Liberty, get out of there so you can eat. All right, as you can see, it's like they're wasting away to nothing. They freak out about breakfast. Come on, Liberty. Come here, baby. Come on. Get out of there while you can. So these are our pregnant girls. This one here is Liberty, one of our new does. I mentioned her, I think, in a previous video. And then that's Baxter. We're trying to breed her because it'll keep us in a constant flux of milk and we won't have to go and buy milk at the store. Because you have to dry them up a couple months prior to them kidding so that they have the colostrum and all that for their babies when they're born. This is one of the reasons we are building a new goat pen. So when we get a lot of rain, the mud washes down underneath this door and it just makes a muddy mess in the goat pen. Excuse me, Elsa. So we have to lock all of our animals up every night because we live in the mountains of Tennessee and we have some really big predators. So let's let out the chickens. They are ready. They are ones that don't mind the mud. There's the ducks. There's Donald. All of them flooding out. At the auction yesterday, we got 2 new Sapphire Gem Roos, which we're pretty excited about. We had been looking for a couple Sapphire Gem Roos, and they were in really good condition. And as you can see, mud everywhere. It's just so deep, so crazy. But it is what it is. I'm gonna have to spread out some stuff to make it not so wet. I see they drank and spilled all their water in here last night. We also got to give this goat or the chicken coop some attention because we need to stir up this bedding, lay some fresh. Oh, we got a duck egg back here. She lays back further. She doesn't like laying up front, which stinks when she lays it under the roosting bars because it is nasty. We have to get all the food out because being there in the goat pen, the goats can't eat the chicken feed. So we always have to get it all out because our goats can still climb in the chicken door. I know they look way too big to do that, but they manage. We don't have any. Oh, we got one chicken egg too. Let's see if I can grab that. I forgot my egg basket. And just like that, see, she climbed right through the chicken door. I'm going to set him right here in the chicken feed for a minute just so I can get everything out. Come on, Elsa, get out of there. Hi, girls. I know, it's so muddy. Oh, and one just plopped an egg right here. Don't step on it. Sometimes it is a Easter egg hunt, trying to get the eggs. Get back, guys. You're not getting any chicken feed. Come on. Go on. Go on. They love to try to escape. I spilt the chicken feed on the way out, and all the goats scurried for it. That was a fight. So now we got to go take care of our bucks. They all get grain every morning. And then, of course, we have all the water buckets. So, let's go see how the bucks are doing. Or the other two bucks. Their pen drains much better. It gets really wet in a couple spots, but not nearly as bad as the girls' pen. But that will all be remedied once we get the new pen finished. Hi, Bice. Did you spill your water? You don't even need grain. You have grain in there. Did they give you grain last night? Because you guys don't generally get grain at night. I'm thinking kids screwed up, and that's way too much grain for the boys. Look at that. What a mess. And they need hay. These are two of our newer roosters as well. They're a little on the smaller size. So, it's our frizzle rooster and our new silky rooster. So we left them over here because we were afraid they'd get picked on because they're a lot smaller than our other roosts. And again with the chicken feed. Give it here. Goats love chicken feed, but it is very bad for them. They're not supposed to eat it. No. So for right now, I'm going to set this up here on top of the goat pen. All right. Grab their water buckets, or empty water buckets for that matter, and they're disgusting. All right. So we get water, all of our water from a natural mountain spring that we give to our animals. We put in a spring box and ran a hose down here because when we had our one major nasty snowstorm, everything froze and we had nothing. So this was our solution for the temporary. So we'll fill the buck's water, then I'll grab all the feeders out of there. And then we'll start filling all the waters for the chickens and the ducks and the girls. Normally I have more helpers out here on a Sunday morning, but I decided to be nice. Let the kids kind of sleep in a little bit. And of course, if it can go wrong, it will go wrong when you're out here by yourself. So, we do what we can do. All right. Okay, so we have gotten everything done we need to get done in the buck pen. They've got their fresh water. Got their hay filled. Chickens have their little water in there, the two roos. They've got all this grain in there because I don't know what my kids were thinking. But our bucks are really good. They don't overeat. So, not a huge deal. It'll just last them a little bit. Some people may wonder, well, if you take the chicken food away, well, what do they eat all day? Well, they free range. They scratch around in this hay, get whatever they want. They eat the hay. So that's what they get all day, and then they get their grain at night. Or their pellets, rather. Now I'll go back to dealing with the girls that all made an escape run on me this morning. And they're up there just fine and dandy at the moment, trying to scrounge any little bit of hay, but I'm going to grab them some hay and fill all their water. All right, let's go in and grab the girls some hay. Yet another thing my children did last night, they have apparently misplaced my scissors, so the girls aren't going to get as much hay as they generally get in the morning, because I can't open another bale. But we'll grab this and take it in. At least it'll get them started. When the kids get up, I'll ask them what they did with my scissors that are out here to cut the hay open. And that might actually be enough to last them for the day, but we'll see. All right, everybody is deciding that they're going to meet me at the door again. They're all here, ready for their hay, ready for their morning breakfast. Even the chickens are ready for their hay. They're going to join the goats here. All right. Goats are all happy. There's Liberty. She's the low goat on the totem pole. She's still a little skittish. We haven't had her for super long. So she kind of stands back and waits for hay. But if you watch what happens, so I'll take some hay over there for her onto the stumps, and every other goat will decide that that hay's better than what's in the feeder, and they're going to come and try to take it from her. But they are starting to be a little nicer. They're not pushing her away as much. Eventually she'll be accepted like one of the herd, but she's really timid and she doesn't fight back, so it is what it is. See, everybody, lovely hay feeder, full of hay, but because that was Liberty's, that's where they go. But yet, she's smart enough. She's coming over here now, so she'll come over here and eat. So it's just one of those things. The goat hierarchy, you never know how long it's going to take them. There goes one of our sapphire gems, deciding it's time to get some hay. They're going to lay down in there. They love to do that, knock it all out. I'm beautiful. Hi, beautiful. Sapphire gems, I don't know if you know, but they're super, super sweet. They're little sweethearts. They are so nice, and you can pretty much do whatever, and they are just nice as can be. And they do this. She'll be in there for a bit, she'll eat, and she'll get out. And oh, they're actually letting a Liberty eat right there by them. So, hey, things are looking up. What are you doing? One of the other things we have to be really careful with when we're out here walking around in the crazy mud. Definitely got to throw out some hay or some shavings or something to try to make this a little less slippery. Is not to end up on your butt. I have ended up on my butt on numerous occasions in this goat pen. We're going to throw all the water buckets out. So we can go fill them. Definitely going to have to do something. And we got our ducks, Donald and Daisy. These waters actually aren't too bad this morning. Here we go. And back over to the spring. So yes, there is lots of trips. It's not great because we can't take the hose necessarily to all the buckets. But at least they have nice fresh mountain water. It's all been tested. It's great for the animals. And because it's mountain water, mountain spring water, it's got a lot of minerals in it and things like that. It's good for them. All right, we got all the waters filled. Rinsed out the little duck pond that we put up for the day for the ducks. And this is the one nice thing. I can take the hose over and fill up the little mini duck pond. So when this is full, the ducks usually come over, they're in it instantly. When they have a bigger duck pond at the other end that we keep full for them. But they get it dirty very, very quickly. Here they come. They're like, oh yeah, here it comes. And it will be dirty in no time. There's one of our roos. He's so pretty. It's a red Wyandotte roo. We're getting excited. They wait for this every morning. And even though they have the bigger one, they wait for this one. I don't know why. They like this one. Daisy usually ends up right in it. That's Donald there with the darker orange beak. And there's Daisy, and there she goes. She just waits for this in the morning. Even though she's got the bigger one, this is what she likes. This needs some attention. We were doing deep bedding until it started getting warmer. So this is a new layer of bedding. We completely cleaned it out. So I'm going to stir all this up. And then we're going to lay down some fresh bedding on top. So here it goes. See if I can find somewhere to set this camera without it falling over. Or without the chickens knocking it over. Alright, so we're gonna stir this all up. You don't want to just leave it, because then it just turns into solid nastiness. Gets really stinky. So we're just stirring it all up. And then we'll spread fresh on top, and the chickens will spread it out for us. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. Yeah, I'm spreading it out, giving you some cleanness here. We're also going to put some fresh in the nesting boxes, because they actually finally started using the nesting box a little bit. And then, what did they do? Knocked all the shavings out, and so now they won't use it anymore. This here in the front, they hang out here a lot. We put their waters and all that stuff. It gets really, really wet. So sometimes when I'm going through this, if it is really, really saturated, really nasty, a lot of times I'll just scoop it out into the big pen area. It also has food in it, so then the chickens will scratch and eat the food out of it. So I'm going to take some of this out, just because it's going to saturate all the new bedding I put in if I leave it in here. Alright, I got some ladies impatiently waiting to lay, so I'm going to try to finish this up. So I scooped a lot of this out that was in this area because it was so wet. Just put it out here. It also helps kind of take care of some of the muddiness of the field, or the pen, as you will. So, time to get some new shavings, and we'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Alright, so, nice and quick, spread some new shavings on top of some of the really dirty ones back there. We like to leave it more of a deep bedding under the roosting bars, because that does give them extra heat on some of the colder nights we get, as it's composting. Laid more fresh stuff here. So the chickens are going to be super, super happy about that. Put some more in their nesting boxes. Hopefully we can get them to use those. Alright. So, as I was saying, and then my video cut off, so we'll be editing. This is the corner that they love to lay in. We've got one in there that's probably going to be starting to lay here shortly. They kind of lay throughout the day. It's usually an Easter egg hunt every time we come out here and seeing what's laid. I wish they would all lay in the morning, but that just doesn't happen. And then this is where I just kind of threw these out. We do have a compost pile, but right now with it being so muddy, this just kind of makes it a little easier. Gives you a little better footing. And this is just a muddy mess. So when we originally built this area, we knew that it was a temporary situation. We did not intend to keep all of our goats in this area because we had a feeling it was going to be wet, it was going to be messy. This was always intended for chickens and ducks and everything like that. It's more permanent. So we are in the process of building a bigger goat area. So that will be done, and then we'll move the goats out, and this will only be for chickens and our ducks. So right now we are working on an area for our goats right across the driveway. Very early stages, which hopefully the weather will cooperate, and we will get these done before we start dropping kids on the ground. Our babies are due the first to second week of March. They'll start having them, and then all the way through the month of March. So hopefully we'll have these birthing stalls set up, and then we will have those to fall back on. Once we get the permanent goat area built, which is getting kind of put on hold because we have mud everywhere. And the area at which we are putting it by the cabin. So right now that is really, really wet up there. And we just can't work up there. It's just too wet. We tried trenching. We tried doing everything we could to pull some water away, and it is just too wet. So for right now, we are just working on the temporary shelter that's right across the driveway. So once the goats are moved, we're going to have that area actually be our pig area. So it's not like we're just building a useless shelter. It will eventually convert to our pig area, but for right now, it's going to serve for our baby goat area. So all the big animals are taken care of. The goats are happy. They're all fed. They've got their clean water. We cleaned the chicken coop already. And now we have our brooder that I need to go check on. So we have a brooder going in the garage. And we've got some 6-week-old chicks, and we got a couple-day-old chicks in there. We also have some chicken eggs that are gonna be hatching. And we have more hatching eggs that we just purchased for Easter eggers and all the pretty egg layers when we were at the auction yesterday. So I'm just gonna check on our babies, make sure everything's working good, making sure the heat lamp's all good, and make sure they got food, water, all that stuff. All right, so this is our brooder area. I think I've had it in, well, I had it in the other video when we got our baby chicks the other day that I just posted last night. So we've got our brooder in here. We've got our 6-weekers. Those are mostly Americanas. We've got some red laced or golden laced red Wyandottes in there as well. And we got our cute little babies over here. And shockingly, the bigger ones have been super nice to these babies. We were really concerned. We watched them for like an hour and a half when we first put them in to make sure we didn't need to separate them. But they have been super nice. They cuddle up with them. They keep them warm. If it does get kind of cold in here, I see we do have food in here, but one of them's kind of low. So I just do this. This is all chick starter crumble. So by doing that, that gets them scratching. Very important for, for them to learn how to scratch for food and all that. It's pretty natural, but it never hurts to have them do that when they're babies. And then we refill it. And they eat so much when they're this age that it's never an issue. They clean it right up. All right, so the big water for the bigger chickens is still 3/4 full. We filled it late last night, again, after we got back from the auction. Because, of course, you got to come and check on everybody. Make sure everybody was doing good. So we do have little waters for our itty-bitties. So that one still needs filled. So I'm going to just walk over to the spring, fill that one. All right, so we're going to do the last animals of the morning, our rabbits, our meat rabbits. They're closer to the house. We have a little hutch area built up. So we're going to go take care of those, and then thankfully morning chores will be done. I enlisted the help of my husband to hold the camera because it was kind of crazy earlier. Alright, so these are our meat rabbits. We've got our 3 does and our buck. So we always replace the water. It's still kind of chilly at night. Sometimes their water freezes. Doesn't look like it did, but we'll replace it anyway. Make sure their food's all good. Give them some more hay to munch on. strongly recommend, if you're going to do rabbits, to have double water bottles, because it is so nice to just be able to bring out full ones and swap them out. Here you go, Theo. Actually, that one's full. Let me see. And full. So apparently the kids did a good job with the rabbits last night, because everyone seems to be full. Good job, Theo. Alright. So we don't need any food, just get them some hay. All right, so morning chores are done. It took way longer not having the kids come out, but you know, sometimes they just want to sleep in, and I don't blame them. They help every other day of the week. They do the night chores, they do all that stuff. So sometimes I just like to treat them and let them have a morning to just kind of relax. So a little more work on me, but hey, if I'd only do it every once in a while, I can handle it. We have a lot more stuff planned for the day, but it's going to be a little crazy and depend on the weather. Hopefully it doesn't rain all day. They're calling for rain, and I just really hope that it doesn't rain all day. But until next time, thanks for watching. If you liked it, go ahead and hit the like button, ring that notification bell, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.